We have some good news about student loan debt. From Reuters, quote, Obama will issue an executive order on Monday making it easier for young people to avoid trouble repaying student loans. It directs the Secretary of Education to ensure that more students who borrowed federal direct loans be allowed to cap their loan payment at 10% of their monthly incomes. And federal law currently allows most students to do this already, but the president's order is going to extend it to students who borrowed before October of 2007 or those who have not borrowed since October of 2011. So the administration says this action will help up to 5 million more borrowers, although it's not actually going to kick in until December of 2015. So again, just to give you the simple version of that, they're going to take more people that owe student loans and say, look, we're going to cap the amount that you have to pay at 10% of your monthly income. So it's definitely a step in the right direction, for sure, but also keep in mind that student loan debt recently surpassed $1 trillion, and you can't file for bankruptcy on it. So it's a special kind of debt in that way, because other forms of debt, if shit gets too bad, you could just file for bankruptcy. Kind of wipe the slate clean in a way, although there are, of course, there are downsides to that, but you still kind of allow yourself an out. With student loan debt, you don't have an out, which is why there have been articles out that talk about how people in their 50s are still paying back student loan debt. There are some congressmen who are still paying back student loan debt. It's really an amazing thing. And also, here's another fact about this that is very rarely brought up, but it's a huge deal. The government made $41.3 billion in profit off of student loans in the year 2013 alone. That's like equal to the amount that ExxonMobil makes in profit for 1 year. So the government is really, really getting super rich off of this. Like, we always talk about how, oh my God, there's the deficit is bad, the debt is bad, and this is terrible, and we need to do something about it. Well, you know what they're doing? Instead of getting, funds from people who can fucking afford it, like rich people who have 3 yachts and 4 mansions and are the head of a few different companies and on the board of directors for all these other companies, instead of going there and taxing them like a little bit more, they fucking get it off the backs of students. And they make $41.3 billion in profit off of the students. It's flat out unacceptable. So think about this from a macro perspective here, because what we have is a situation where the Democrats are tiptoeing in a better direction, okay, where they're like, okay, we'll cap it at 10% for a month of your income. Okay, are we good enough by doing that? Oh, yeah, thank you. I guess it's a step in the right direction. And what are the Republicans arguing for? They're literally arguing to make students pay more. I'm not kidding. That's their argument. They say, well, raise the interest rates. Raise them. That's better. So the Republicans want to raise the interest rates and fuck students more. The Democrats do this like little bitch-ass policy that's slightly better than the bullshit we're dealing with now. And all the while, what's the correct answer in the discussion? Nationalize education. A lot of other modern industrial nations, they've decided that when you're organizing a society and you're determining what functions government should be responsible for, one of the first things is educating the citizens. Okay? Now, in the U.S., we already agreed to that, by the way, because it's just that we agreed to it for younger people. So, okay, if we're talking about grade school and middle school and high school, oh, that's very important. We know that we should probably use tax dollars to take care of that because, not everybody's rich and, people, we don't want to set up a system where only the rich are going to continue to be rich and they're the only ones with opportunity. So, yeah, we need to be good people and set up an educational system where it's paid for by tax dollars. But then now, by the time we get to college, what happens? They say, fuck you, you're on your own. Whoa. What are you talking about, man? See, it used to be that when it came to public schools, through high school was enough because all you needed was a high school degree in order to do well in the world. Okay, then as time went by, now you probably need even more than a 4-year degree to do well in the world. A 4-year degree, that's even becoming less and less valuable as time goes by. So why shouldn't we have our domestic policy keep up with the reality, which is that, yeah, you should be able to go to college and have it fully funded by taxes. You got to understand something. When it comes to colleges, man, it's just a matter of funding. Okay, Republicans will make a stupid argument that you're going to ruin how good the schools are. Bullshit, you're going to ruin how good the schools are. How can I say that? A lot of private colleges get a lot of funding from the government. That didn't ruin them. Okay, they still have some really nice looking campuses and whatever kind of curriculum they set up. All it is a matter of funding. And I know my opinion on the topic, and I guarantee you if you do a poll, a majority of people will agree with this. How about instead of all of our tax dollars going overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan to fucking blow shit up and kill people and then rebuild the same fucking places we destroyed, how about instead of our money going there and instead of it going in subsidies to the big banks and to Wall Street and to ExxonMobil and to Walmart, and instead of the fucking tax cheats, the rich tax cheats that have all their money stashed away in the Cayman Islands, instead of giving all these subsidies and special deals in all these areas we don't want it, instead of continuing the military-industrial complex, how about our tax dollars actually go for some shit that we care about? How's that for a radical idea? You know, I thought about this when I was younger, and it stuck with me because I really think it's a good way of describing the difference between the right and the left and our views on government. The right almost feels like the government is this mafia that you have to pay to keep them away, you know? Like, all right, okay. I'll give you like 15% of my money. Just stay the fuck away. Just get away. Just don't fuck with me too much. That's the right-wing approach. Like, I'm not talking about establishment people. I'm talking about your run-of-the-mill Republican who might live in Kentucky or wherever. In their mind, they think, fuck, just don't take any of my money. But if you're going to take my money here, take 15% and go away. Shut the fuck up and go away. Okay? What do the Democrats do? What the Democrats do, I think, is much smarter. I think it makes much more sense. What we do is we go, all right, here's the deal, bitch. If I'm going to give you 15% of my money, I better get some shit for it. I'm not just paying this to you so you can take it and do whatever the fuck you want with it and act rambunctious and go around the world and set up 900 military bases and act a fool to the point where we don't agree with what you're doing with our money. I mean, think about what they're doing with our money. Torturing people in Guantanamo Bay, setting up CIA black sites. I mean, just amazing shit that nobody would approve of if it was on a more personal level. Drone strikes in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. That's insanity. That's insanity. So what the left does is they say, all right, look, we live in the real world. We know you can't eliminate taxes. What are we going to live in a system with no government at all? That's what Somalia is like. Why would we want to do that? That doesn't make any sense. So since we know there needs to be a government, then the question becomes, well, what should we fund with it? And Democrats demand, okay, here's what I want out of my tax dollars. Give me health care, give me education, make sure that my food isn't poisoned when I eat it so I don't get salmonella or E. coli. Give me roads, you can name a whole bunch of stuff, police. But the Republicans, they have this insane view where they're just like, here, take my money and go away. No, you should demand something for that, okay? And one of the things at the top of the list, almost number one on my list is healthcare, but close behind it is universal education.